All right, hey everyone, good morning. It's August the 3rd, the year 2016. Schaeffer Cox has been in prison 5 to 6 years already, looking at 20 more years to go. And recently he asked me to send him a picture of myself and Aaron. I guess he wants to know what kind of goofballs he's dealing with on the outside. In any event, I did send him some pictures. One of the pictures on the screenshot is one of the pictures that I sent. And he wrote me a letter back after he received the pictures. The other pictures were Aaron and I shooting the 50 cal, me sitting at the desk with the
I want to hear this.
with the death to the new. You want to hear it? You haven't heard this, huh?
No.
With the death to the New World Order. I have the Texas flag behind me, and then things like that. So here's what Schaeffer had to say after receiving the pictures. He said he wanted the pictures to know who to pray for as he goes through his prayer cycle. And I think he might have wanted that too, but he also probably wants to know what kind of goofball he's dealing with. So I did grab some pictures. Anyway, here's what he wrote back. He says, "Hey, Rudy, I got your pictures today. You and Darren look great in the Old West photos, and I love the M4 and the 50 cal. It made me reminisce about the good old days when I had rights. Think about this. If I get out of here, I will never be allowed to be anywhere near a gun ever again. If I get caught even with an empty magazine or spent shell, I will get a mandatory 25-year sentence because of my prior charges."
I remember Ken Hovind told us somebody was in jail with him because they had a keychain with an empty shell on it.
Yeah, they were on probation and they had a keychain or something, like they hung around their neck and it was an empty shell. They got put back in prison because of that. But these rules from this tyrannical government and this evil Department of Justice, evil, corrupt FBI, it's just absolutely insane. Eric Holder, Loretta Lynch, Karen Loeffler, Joseph W. Bottini, Stephen Scrocky, Yvonne Lamoureux, all of these people make up element of out-of-control, corrupt federal government. And they're targeting bright lights of liberty. But let me continue. Schaeffer goes on to write, "I used to be an all-American Second Amendment lobbyist, but I'll have to choke it down and live like a disarmed slave if I want to stay in this country. I won't even be able to visit someone's house if they own a gun. That's how much the feds hate the Second Amendment and all who believe in it. They couldn't take away everyone's guns without starting a civil war, so they just set out to give everyone a felony. They are confiscating the guns one man at a time. Think about it." And then he goes on to give a quote by Niccolo Machiavelli. He says, it is unreasonable to think that an unarmed man should be secure among his armed servants." The government's supposed to be the servant of the people, right? Let's read that again because that's a very powerful quote and I've never heard that before. Niccolo Machiavelli. "It is unreasonable to think that an unarmed man should be secure among his armed servants." Niccolo Machiavelli. "If I can beat these felonies all together, I'd still theoretically have my rights, but the truth is, if you can lose it, it's not a right." Schaeffer Cox. Well, he certainly has a way of writing about the Second Amendment. We miss his voice. We miss his leadership. And we pray that God finds a pathway to free Schaeffer Cox very, very soon. In the meantime, don't forget to write Schaeffer Cox a letter. We all need to be writing him encouraging letters, letting him know that we have not forgotten about him.